What's up, YouTube? It's Breaking Sites, and I'm back. Before we get to it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, as you always. Watch the full video.
September 9th, 2025. YNW Bortlen shook the internet as he took a plea deal that was live streamed to YouTube. Facing 5 life sentences with an additional 75 years in Florida State Prison, Bortlen's legal team was able to do the damn near impossible.
Why did I hate when they be throwing out these way out numbers? Like, who's doing 5 life sentences with 7? Who's doing that? Just say life. Just say that. Just say life. Like, he has 9,900 years, bro. Yes, that sounds way out crazy, but like, bro.
Pleading no contest, the state agreed to drop 2 counts of first-degree murder for the shooting deaths of YNW Juvie and Sack Chaser. They'd also drop a conspiracy to tamper with the witness and a count of directing gang activities. By entering a plea of no contest, Bortlen has not admitted guilt, has not admitted the existence or involvement in a gang, and has not implicated himself or others in a murder. In exchange for his plea, Bortlen has been found guilty of 1 count of tampering with a witness, 2 counts of being an accessory to a capital felony, and 1 count of unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Bortlen has been sentenced to 10 years in Florida State Prison on these charges, to be followed by 6 years of probation. He was also credited for his time in jail. Bortlen was arrested back in 2000.
See, this is why we saying, like, certain, like, especially like court cases shouldn't be released to the internet, because I seen his I guess photo of him in court smiling like that, and the title said he took a plea deal. It's over for YNW Melly because this one cause he's finna snitch. And part of his plea deal, he has to snitch. And this nigga Jason said he has not done any of that. So what are y'all talking about? Y'all be putting jackets on people, and then a nigga they said if he came home today, right? He got released. Time served. He got released. Them captions can get somebody unalive, bro. That's why I be saying certain things should not be on the internet.
19 and wouldn't receive a bond for 15
Long
months.
for them to stop releasing every single thing.
In October 2023, he'd be rearrested, remaining in jail until now, lasting an additional 23 months. In all, Bortlen did a total of 38 months in jail, just over 3 years, meaning his 10-year sentence is already down to 7. Due to Florida law, 85% of a prison sentence must be completed. So if Bortlen is on his best behavior, he could be released in just under 6 years at the young age of 32. This plea deal for 2 capital murders is nothing short of fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But it came with a twist that has the internet going crazy. Just after letting Bortlen know everything that came with the plea, the judge would highlight the fact that after the plea is made, the state wants to take a proffer from Bortlen. An immediate flag on the play, a proffer is defined under Florida law as an agreement to speak with prosecutors to share information. This would lead everyone from Say Cheese, academics, No Jumper, my fucking self, and even Melly's old lawyer Bradford Cohen to assume the worst. Bortlen was now going to snitch on Melly.
All right, let's talk YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen. He is now doing the triple Lindy. For those youngsters that don't know what the triple Lindy is, it is when you do several flips off a high dive, and he will be flipping. He is going to be tell all about anything he knows about the double murder case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens. A lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve, he decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip, and it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible. But depending on what he says, it will make the YNW Melly case a lot more difficult to try, but still not impossible.
I don't know. I don't know the nigga personally. I would feel like a lot of times people be taking the plea deal is hoping that that they don't have to end up doing nothing, that they'll find some way to beat the case without them. He's probably doing that. I'm gonna take this plea deal, even though taking a plea deal and still while you're hoping that it can still look bad. Because again, you are a nigga from the streets. The streets gonna respond to this. So, damn.
I've had cases where there were flipping witnesses where, I had a federal case with several flipping witnesses where we still got a not guilty, and it's possible to still get a not guilty in this case. Obviously, it's going to make it a lot more difficult. He has an excellent lawyer, by the way, Fred Haddad, who's a friend of mine, and I know Fred would have done a very good job for him.
See, he just admitted right there. He got a great lawyer. If he got a good lawyer, his lawyer is gonna finesse this at the end. Like, yeah, you gonna take this deal, but we're not gonna get you on the stand. And if you do, we're gonna plead the fifth to something, and then you might still have to come back and then do some time, but it ain't gonna be hopefully what you was facing.
Trial, but ultimately it is an individual's decision whether or not to become Chuck E. Cheese. And in this case, he has become Chuck E. Cheese. Is Chuck E. Cheese a mouse or a rat? I'm not sure. But long story short,
a white man calling somebody a rat is crazy.
And it's going to make the case against YNW Melly a lot more difficult to win.
Now, as a man, I always leave room to stand corrected in any situation. And I have to give a shout out to my boy Seti Nash for his thorough journalism in this case. Bortlen's main lawyer, Fred Haddad, would release a statement saying, "I don't represent snitches. Cortland Henry is not a snitch, and he will not be cooperating or testifying in YNW Melly's trial. Anyone who claims differently has not seen the plea deal and has..."
See, that's what I guess. Yeah, that's his lawyer. Look, told you. Lawyer gonna say you gonna take this plea deal, but we're not putting you on no stand. He got the same thing that Gunner did.
No idea what they're talking about. Well, in my humble opinion, what the fuck else would a prophet be other than the snitch? Why would the state want to sit down with Bortlen if he wasn't obligated by the plea deal to cooperate against the main man they believe is the shooter? Why would Bortlen's sentence go from 5 life sentences plus 75 to only serving 7 years in prison? What else would they have to talk about when the only thing left to do in the case is convict Melly? Even the judge would tell Bortlen in court, "I don't know how your lawyers pulled this off." Well, I reached out to Bortlen's other lawyer, Joe Nascimento, who further clarified Bortlen has not agreed to testify and will not provide any statement implicating Melly or anyone else. This plea agreement brings closure to Bortlen's cases and will be the last time he appears in a courtroom.
Hey, 1090 Jake. Thanks for giving me the chance to clear up a lot of the confusion and just chaos that's happening online right now after YNW Bortlen's plea this afternoon went viral on social media. It's clear that a lot of people just don't understand what has happened. So I want to start with what he was charged with.
Look,
he was facing...
That's why I say, that's why we saying, even though I do, I react to the videos or to the content, but if I be saying a lot of these cases are the certain things that be happening within these cases should not be brought to the internet. Like, it shouldn't be. I understand like public knowledge, but certain things that shouldn't be public knowledge, especially like this, because you can put somebody's life at risk. Mind you, when it comes to people from the streets, majority of all of us, right? We're not lawyers, so only thing we see is plea deal. That's it. That's the only thing people see. Plea deal. That's it. Like, oh, you took a deal. You took a deal. And what was the deal for? What are the requirements? What are you gonna have to do? What are you gonna do? Is your lawyer gonna be able to finesse your way up out of it? Nobody thinks about none of that. It's plea deal or you're snitching. That's it. That's it. That's all. You're snitching. Plea deal equals you're snitching. That's it. That's all. And you go to jail for X amount of time. Nobody knows what's going on in your case. They say you go to jail for a strap, right? And then you come home a month later. Oh, he snitched. Hi, nigga, you don't know nothing about his case, but automatically he snitched. Like
2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of accessory after the fact of first-degree murder, tampering with a witness, conspiracy to tamper with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal gang, and utilization of a two-way communication device to commit a felony. In all, he was facing 5 mandatory life sentences if found guilty, plus an additional 75 years on top of that. And the facts of his plea are that he has pled no contest. That's very important because that means he has not admitted guilt. He's not admitted.
I did that too. I had a strong armed robbery case. I pled no contest. No contest it's not you saying I did it, but it's for sure not saying that you didn't do it. It's just you gonna let the court handle it. That's what and street knowledge. That's what they mean. You didn't say yes, but you didn't say no. You just say I don't want to do it. But I pled no contest too in a strong armed robbery case.
That he's done anything wrong, and he's certainly not admitted or given information about anybody else.
And I for sure didn't do that.
He's been found guilty, but in exchange, the state has dismissed the 2 murder counts, the conspiracy to tamper with a witness count, and the charge about directing the activities of a criminal gang. He's going to be sentenced to 10 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 6 years of probation with credit for time that he has served. And he's required, as a part of that, to sit down and give what's called a proffer. Typically, when you hear the word proffer, especially in a criminal case, it's when a witness offers information or will explain what they would testify to if called at trial or a hearing. It's unfortunate that we use that word today in court because that's not what's going to happen in this case. Bortlen is not going to sit down and give a lengthy proffer or answer questions about what he would testify to if he were called as a witness, because we don't anticipate him being called as a witness at any trial or any hearing, especially not one involving Melly.
Told you.
What I can tell you is that Bortlen is not going to implicate anybody else.
Told you. Look, that's what he's hoping for. That's what he probably he didn't say the word hope, but that's more like what he's hoping for. He said it like he's not going to be called. You don't know that for a guaranteed fact, but that's what he's more than likely hoping. But I said it. Lawyer said, "Hey, look, we're gonna take this plea deal, and then hopefully they just don't never call you to the stand or want you to come in there and to do anything. And if they do, hopefully it's another deal behind that, or hopefully by the time even if that come, this case is already said and done with. Hopefully, but lawyers don't. I don't think lawyers use the word hope in these type of cases because I don't think it will be a good thing. But I said it, bro. Like, take this deal, and then we're gonna get you up out of here, bro.
Provide information against anybody else.
You got to think about it. A lot of times, courts, jails, even though for some things, people again still do need to be arrested. But a lot of times, they be want to get the case over and done with too. That's why they hand them deals out, so they can. Because most times, again, they don't have a gang of evidence. In the jails, the courts is already overcrowded. If you take a deal, we can end this now. This thing has been going on for like 2 years now, or more than that probably. Like, let's end this. Let's get this over and done with. You want to take a deal? We don't even care, bro. Like,
Melly's name is not even going to come.
Just take a deal, bro. Please, just take a deal so we can end this.
To prosecutors in this case, I anticipate the conversation with the prosecutors is going to be very, very brief, and it is not going to be what everyone thinks it's going to be online, where he sits down and rats or provides information to cooperate against other people. So a lot of people are saying that Bortlen's plea and his proffer are going to hurt Melly in some way and affect his trial in the future. And again, that's absolutely untrue. YNW Bortlen is not going to be a state witness. YNW Bortlen is not going to provide information that's going to impact Melly's trial in any way. YNW Bortlen is not expected to come and provide information against anybody. So to be clear, his plea, his proffer, and anything surrounding it will have absolutely no impact on Melly's trial. I want to add just a little bit more background to what's happened over the past couple weeks. Neither the defense nor the state wanted this case to go to trial this month. We believe that
they want this shit over with
until after Melly's appeals are resolved and his case is ready for trial, because our anticipation was that Melly's case would be tried before Bortlen's. However, the judge denied our request for a continuance and denied our request to stay Bortlen's case pending Melly's appeals. So we were moving forward to trial, and we knew that we had a very strong defense to the murder counts. But for Bortlen to be successful, he would have to beat every single count, keeping in mind that he was facing 5 mandatory life sentences.
Not beating that.
So for him to take a deal that he's almost already served at least half of the sentence already,
the best
he doesn't
deal.
have to admit that he did anything wrong. He doesn't have to testify against anybody else. He doesn't have to provide information that would affect Melly or anybody else.
See? This be why niggas take deals, bro. This be why. You're facing all this time. If we go to trial, it's a chance you might lose. And then you're going to be facing X amount of time. Especially 5 life sentences, bro. You're done. You take this deal, yeah, it looks bad to the internet, but I'm going to defend you. I'm going to say, hey, we're not doing that. And you know for a fact that you're not doing that. At the end of the day, what matters is you're going home. Sooner than later. Or sooner than never. All right, Mr. Lawyer. I'll take the deal. That's why niggas end up taking deals, bro. Here we gotta stop just judging somebody on, oh, he took a deal. Look at the deal. Like, let's see what happened first. Like, for Gunna thing. It just that video just looks so bad. For Gunna, on his part, it just looks so bad. Him saying yes, ma'am, to that lady. That just looked so bad. Like, for Young Thug. Nobody is in jail behind what you said. If that jail call, whatever, didn't get released, nobody would know nothing. Nobody would be thinking nothing about it. Gunna thing, that video didn't get released, nobody would be saying nothing about it. Same thing for this. If this didn't get released, nobody would be knowing nothing about it. That's why they need to start releasing, like, something that should not be public knowledge, bro. Y'all are destroying people's lives, bro, behind damn near nothing.
About anything related to this case or any other case. It was a no-brainer for him to ensure that he gets to walk out of prison one day and live his life versus rolling the dice with a random jury, no matter how strong his defense is and how weak the case for the state was.
Come on, bro. I'm not even a lawyer, bro. I'm saying it before he even said it. Come on, bro. Take this deal because you can take this deal and then you ain't gotta risk going to trial and then getting 5 lives. Like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, I have a blog site, Rich Stone Media. That's why when I seen that, I didn't even repost it. It's just certain times it's like, bro, like this is bull. I'm not even gonna post it on my platform. No, even though my platform is small, but still.
Understand that it was a very tough decision for him, but it was very important to him that his decision had no impact on others.
While we don't know what Bortlen will be saying in his proffer with the prosecutors, the judge made it clear whatever he says will have no effect on his plea deal. Meaning, he could apparently say anything, or not much of anything at all. Bortlen technically didn't beat the murders.
Bro.
The charges were dropped. So if he sat down and admitted to the murders, he would be recharged. And with that in mind, I wonder if Bortlen would be able to plead the 5th invoking his Fifth Amendment right, which guarantees no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. Meaning Bortlen could potentially refuse to speak to keep himself from further incriminating himself. We won't know until it happens.
Come on,
we'll have
dog.
to wait until then to see what's actually said. Normally very vocal, YNW Melly's mom has remained silent after Bortlen's plea, and she was present when it happened. No word has come from Melly's legal team, as he's now represented by legal powerhouse Drew Finley.
She was there, and they said in the videos he was smiling at his family. She was more likely one of the people he was smiling at too. Come on, bro. That's why I be saying, like, the internet should not be releasing things to the streets, bro, because the street is gonna wash niggas up behind what they see on the internet without even looking into what's actually happening. Again, bro, you see the title, you see his face, and that's it.
And even Bradford Cohen, Melly's old lawyer, would backtrack from his initial statement about Bortlen.
All right, let's get to it. Let's talk YNW Bortlen and YNW Melly. The information is coming in fast and furious to my office. People are calling me left and right. They saw the post. You know what time it is. And they are telling me that YNW Bortlen is not going to be a flipper, and he is not going to be the cheese eater I previously said that he could become. And he is going to give a statement. I don't know what that statement's going to be, but his attorney is an excellent attorney. He's one of my good friends and you know, really helped me out as a young attorney. Fred Haddad, a great guy. And he represented very, very few, if any, flippers in the past. That's why I was kind of surprised at first. But it turns out, the rumor on the street, YNW Bortlen is not going to be a flipper, but he will give a proffer.
So at this time, I, 1090 Jake, proudly stand corrected. And you know what? When Bortlen hits the DOC, I'll reach out to him personally with a, my bad, bro, but cut me a little bit of slack because everybody thought you told. You know what I'm saying? I had a co-defendant that took a
bro.
Told everything on me. So when I heard proffer, I'm like, no.
See? Come on, you can't, bro.
Reaching out and speaking to his lawyer, Joe, who was present in the courtroom with him that day, you know, I'm not a lawyer at the end of the day. None of these guys on YouTube, from Act to Say Cheese to fucking Vlad to Adam22, none of us are lawyers. We've just dealt with so many similar situations that, yeah, we can make a judgment based on what we've already experienced before.
Yeah, but sometimes you can be wrong, bro.
Good. You know what I mean? Like, we've never heard of sitting down with the prosecutors and they're not snitching. But I stand corrected. And I'm proud to, because you know what? Bortlen has held on for 6, damn near 7 years without folding on his man's Melly. And the fact that he's taken this plea and apparently nothing is going to affect Melly, that's some soldier shit.
Come on, bro.
He could have folded a long time ago. So like I said, we'll just have to wait and see when the proffer actually happens. I'm sure everyone's going to request it. We're going to see what's said. And then next up is going to be Melly's trial. But hey, let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the.
That's why I say, bro, like, sometimes, again, you can. They just start releasing stuff to the internet. And then two people, like, especially when it comes to court cases, bro, until we see something that actually happened, stop trying to judge somebody on them taking a deal, because a lot of people take deals, bro, and then nothing happens behind them. Again, I take a deal. My deal, I had what is it? Co-defendants too. I just happen to be the older one, but I ain't no deal to tell on them. I even had police officers, hey, your homie snitched on your homie. Like, yeah, bro, get up out of here with all that. Make sure you like and subscribe, man.